Alan Gibson, driver of the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Jr., driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Teddy Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota Nascar Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Are you trying to do milking or something there, Al? Oh, God. I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing. Hope y'all enjoyed the lead-in video.
Like to.
Do what?
You always say you'd like to welcome. Just
all right, well,
welcome.
Al, why don't you do it?
You straight, Al. Go ahead. Somebody needs
do it for us, Al. Show us how it's done.
No, you screwed it up already.
But I'm giving you a chance to make it right.
I can't make anything right that you've messed up.
Okay. You'll get over it though.
Boy, I tell you, good way to get started tonight.
And I'm
good, but I'm not great.
Let's talk racing.
I guess we're all gonna sit here.
CJ.
Sit here and look at each other.
All right, stand by, CJ.
We're all looking at each other like,
what do next?
All right.
That's right. 58 minutes till dinner time.
What did I tell you, Brian?
Welcome to Let's Talk Racing. Brian Morehouse, Al Pearce, Jack Dodson, and Scott Allen.
How's it going, CJ?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. How are you?
We're doing pretty good, but we're trying to figure out how to pronounce your last name. Do you want to go ahead and say that for us?
Yeah, I get that question a lot.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
oh, we have a bad connection here.
You still there, CJ?
Yes, sir. Can you hear?
You're kicking in and out, it seems like.
It's cutting in and out. You think, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Go stand on top of the building, put your left hand high up in the air.
Now, Scott would follow that.
You sound a little bit better now.
Okay. My last name is actually pronounced Duarte.
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 Okay.
All right.
And they call it everything but that, right?
I've had all kinds of pronunciations of it.
What's the weirdest one you've ever had?
I've actually had one time when I used to play TV football. My last name's pronounced Dirty, but I don't know how to get that.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the show, man. We want to sit around and talk racing with you for a little while. A little bit of history about yourself and a couple of tracks that you race at.
I raced at 5 years old. I started out in karts and quarter midgets, worked my way up through the race to the micros. This is the season of big sprint cars. And my home track was Cowtown Speedway. Unfortunately, it got shut down in 2010. But now my home track is Speedway Mesquite.
I gotcha. So now, what age did you start racing?
I got into racing whenever I was 5. I don't from the time that I was just watching NASCar on TV here, what's going on. I just always had a passion for motorsports and racing.
I hear you. You done any other racing besides some of the midgets?
I've yet to put in a midget. It's on my bucket list to do. It's a blast to drive. I just need the financial backing to do it.
Gotcha.
Now, where are you located? I'm not sure I've quite heard where you're located.
I'm out of Burleson, Texas. We are just south of Fort Worth.
Oh, okay, Arlington, Texas. Okay. Home of the Texas Rangers.
Oh yeah.
In Jerry World.
The Jerry World.
Yeah, that's what he calls his stadium.
Well, that's true.
Jerry Jones calls it Jerry World. Or Jonestown, whichever.
Jonestown.
Go ahead, your turn.
I would assume that growing up in Texas, the Labonte brothers, A.J. Foyt, Rutherford, people like that were your racing heroes?
I did like Bobby Labonte whenever I was a little kid. I didn't really look at the other one, and I didn't really look up A.J. Foyt until my sophomore year of high school at Penn State. Book report on him, and after reading his story and what he did, in order to work his way through the ranks of racing, he was an idol of mine, immediately.
Well, give us a little bit of insight on some of the biggest challenges you've had within the racing world.
The biggest challenges probably would be just trying to find sponsors and financial backing, and luckily, lately things have been going really well in that department, and I've gotten connection with some really great people, and they've been sponsoring me. But I'd have to definitely say, getting sponsors and funding my program has probably been my biggest challenge.
I gotcha. Well, give us some probably the biggest career moments that you've had within the racing.
My biggest career moment would definitely have to be finishing third at the Dillons Winter Nationals earlier this season. I started 13th on the field and ended up running third, which was I've been going to Dillons since I was a little kid, and I had not missed a national race there, like the ASTS National Tour, since 2009, and to be able to actually race in it and do so well was definitely a dream come true.
Do you race ever at the dirt track at Texas Motor Speedway?
No, sir. I've never been on that racetrack. I really want to. We're trying to get a show set up there for next month, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Now, do you plan on trying to do anything in NASCAR?
Oh, definitely. NASCAR is my goal. That's where I want to. That's my main goal right now. Is to try to get into NASCAR. Get started in some ARCA stuff. Run some ARCA races, and be able to get my license to run trucks nationwide, and then on into Cup.
What do you think you need to do in order to reach those goals to be able to reach NASCAR?
I'm definitely a big believer in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So first of all, I got to put it in His hands and let Him open the doors for me, and let His plan unfold in front of me and just go with it. But me myself, I just got to keep putting myself out there and keep let these sponsors know who I am as a driver and as a person, and hope one of them sees me and wants to take me to the next level.
Now, you were just mentioning your sponsors. Who do you already have?
Really, right now, my biggest sponsors, I have to say, are my parents. They have been supporting me since day one in racing. They worked so hard to make sure I have really nice top-of-the-line equipment, and they put all their time and money in it. They take me racing just about every weekend, and they really work hard for me, and I can't thank them enough for it. Other than that, I have Podium Finish Photography, Mefarado, Buffalo Ranch, Duarte Funeral Home, Vincent Acoustical, DH Fabrication, Full Climate Heating and Air Conditioning, First Professional Transmissions, 517 Designs, Allied Racing Engines, Shelton Racing, and SRD Composites out of Midlothian, Texas. And with these people have helped me tremendously in my sprint car program, and I couldn't do it without them.
What's the longest sponsor you've had throughout your career? I mean, has anybody started off with you and stayed with you over the last part of your career?
Other than my parents, like I said, have been there, for me since day one. Other than that, I'm going to have to say Vincent Acoustical has been there since I started in the very first year I started running the 600cc micros. They started sponsoring me, and they have sponsored me ever since. And my other long-running sponsor, the one that's there every weekend, is Podium Finish Photography. He is there, and he has not ever missed a race, and he is there for every race, whether if it's 15 minutes away or if it's 15 hours away. He is there working on the race car, and I can't thank him enough.
I got you. One of our questions that came in is, how do you plan to use your racing NASCAR career to help others?
You know, like I said, I feel like God has blessed me with so much, and I really want to use my NASCAR career to be an outreach to others, you know, whether it be youth or just people in general, and tell them about the Lord and who He really is, and introduce them so they want to know more about Him, and you know, get to know the Lord. I also, you know, I understand that these NASCAR drivers are getting paid pretty well, so I also would like to, you know, give back to people who are in need, and to charities and stuff like that, and use my money to help people reach their dreams, because I couldn't do it without people, you know, spending their money on me to help me reach mine.
Where would you like to be in 5 years?
In 5 years, I'd definitely like to be in NASCAR. You know, if I could, you know, be any race car, I'm happy.
Is there any thought along the way somewhere in your mind that to get into NASCAR, you're probably going to have to come to the Charlotte area and put your name out in that regard? Or is there any thoughts of possibility of coming out here to do that?
Oh, if the opportunity came up, I would definitely take it. And, you know, I've never lived anywhere other than where I'm at right now, so it'd be definitely a big change for me, but I'm ready to take it on.
So what got you started in the racing? Did your dad race or somebody in your family?
My uncle raced, like, street stocks on dirt, whatever, way before I was born. And whenever I was younger, you know, my mom, you know, there would be NASCAR on TV, and like my mom would tell me about my uncle racing and stuff, and so whenever I was really little, I liked the way the car sounded, and I thought that was so cool, and she took me to a racetrack the first time when I was 4 years old, because I have really bad asthma, so I couldn't handle the fumes until I was that age. And ever since then, you know, it's just like, this is what I want to do. And I was playing Pee-wee football with the kids who had a go-kart for sale. My parents bought it for me, and we went out there, and the first race ever lined up for, I won. So I was hooked.
Wow. You got a lot of wins there. You've got, what, about over 200 wins already?
Yes, sir. Just throughout my racing career, we've wrapped up, you know, quite a few wins, and I can't thank the Lord enough for it.
So do you have an embarrassing moment in racing?
I'm trying to think, an embarrassing moment.
Besides being on this show.
I'm saying I can name one like right off the top of my head. He's got to think about it.
Your whole career's been.
I can't really think of really an embarrassing moment in racing. I feel like if I were to sit out in a race car or something, then I feel like I'd be embarrassed about that.
Could be worse. You get spun out, turn around, and go the wrong direction.
It'll happen. Just hold on a while. You'll have more than you can not remember. So.
Yes, sir.
If you don't spin out, you're not going fast enough.
There you go.
Well, I just feel like if I was a race car, I overdrove the car and I wasn't really in control.
Now, Al, you got to give him his young driver speech.
All right, let me give you a young driver speech. Anytime a reporter comes up to you to ask you a question, or anytime a cameraman shows up, take off your sunglasses. All right?
All right.
I'm serious.
And look him in the eye.
And by the way,
remember the name of the reporter, because he'll say, I'm Al Pearce, I write for Autoweek or whatever. Remember that name, and at some point during the answer, repeat his name. Say, well, Al, this is what happened or whatever. don't just give an answer as if you don't remember who the guy is who asked you the question. And I've been doing this a long time. I've been writing racing for 46 years. I spent the day with Kevin Harvick, in fact. You talk about embarrassing moments. Spend a day around Harvick.
Oh God.
That'll. Anyway,
I've heard a lot from Gray about that. So.
But my point is, take off your sunglasses. Nobody wants to see what you're hiding behind those big lenses, and always try to remember the guy's name or the lady's name, and speak that name when you answer your question. That's my speak for the day.
Well, now that you say something about that, I have actually noticed. Whenever I watch, of course I look up the NASCAR drivers, and I watch their every move to try to, they say dress for the job that you want. So I watch them to see what they do. And I noticed a lot of them, when the reporter comes up to them, they take their sunglasses off.
Not many. Carl Edwards is the only one, and I'll tell you why they don't do it. A lot of them get paid for having their sunglasses on while they're on TV.
Trevor Bayne does them too.
Yeah, take these off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know if you watch a post-race interview with almost anybody, they'll leave their sunglasses on, even at night. At Bristol this weekend, at 11 o'clock at night, they'll have their sunglasses on. I'm just telling you, as a young driver, take off your sunglasses. Otherwise, the reporter thinks, he's saying what he's saying, but I'm not sure whether I should believe him because I can't see his eyes.
Look at the one next to you. What do you think of him?
Exactly. See, and if I was one of those guys that had their sunglasses on at night, that'd be embarrassing moment. That's for sure. It'd be an embarrassing moment or anything.
Well, the Eagles wrote a song called Lion Eyes, and that's not the reason they wrote it, but if you can't see a man's eyes when you're talking to him, you got to wonder about what he's saying. End of speech.
Sure, you want to look people in the eye when you talk to them.
Absolutely.
Remember that, man. It's coming from a professional there. Well, we want to thank you for being on the show tonight. We hope to talk to you more here in the near future and talk a little bit more about racing.
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All righty. Thank you. All right. I want to bring this up. How many times you interviewed Richard?
Richard Petty?
Yeah.
Oh, God, thousands.
But you notice, I've always noticed throughout the years.
Listen, if anybody else went 200 races, they can wear their sunglasses anytime they want.
But that's the only one that I've ever really seen that could get away with it.
That's right.
But
He's earned the right.
But that's the reason why they put King in front of his name.
You take like Kyle Busch, guys like that, Junior, Harvick. Oh, Harvick is big on that. I just realized that.
He had him on today indoors in a room that had barely any light in it.
Really?
Yeah, anyway.
So you're a big fan?
Well, he's all right. Just
Now, I do know that Danica takes hers off when she talks.
Not always.
You
got no comment?
And Harvick had the audacity to say today that she's really better than she used to be. And I did not say, whoa, wait. If he believes it, that's fine.
The quantity of cars being totaled out has come down a little bit.
Well, she doesn't wreck a lot, but I tell you folks, she doesn't outrun anybody of consequence. She'll finish ahead of them, but she will not outrace anybody that matters. By that I mean on the racetrack, passing people who are any good. She has her way with Landon Castle and J.J. Yaley and Josh Wise and that crowd. She can smoke their doors off.
She's not passing people that has the same quality
She gets
car.
to a point in the running order, and that's as far as she's going to go.
Around the 20th. Around 20th
Yeah,
place.
25th, somewhere along in there.
Yeah.
If people start dropping out, and she moves up, and she says, hey, I finished 17th. That was great. Well,
20 other cars are no longer racing.
26 cars
Now,
behind you.
wait a minute now. We're on this discussion about cars falling out and people moving up.
Oh,
and
we're with go-karts.
We just had that situation with somebody else in this room.
No, it doesn't go with go-karts. Scott, you've improved. Don't let him bring you down.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, you got to fly to Iraq next week.
Put in an appearance.
They got autograph session over there.
It was set up by
gotta
your
go
friend.
where the people is at.
I lied you up. So,
Don't be a hater, Jack.
Hey,
but no, getting back to the sunglass thing, because I thought that was very good. What you told him, I noticed that like 5 years ago with Carl Edwards.
Yeah.
And it was something that you said, whether it was on this show or you printed it or something, I can't remember. But I happened to see it the week before I started noticing Carl Edwards would take those glasses off in a heartbeat.
He makes a point
to
Makes a point of it.
Another thing I've always seen him do, like with reporters, being near them and talking, he's a very hands-on type person, like will pat their shoulder and walk away.
Yeah.
But that's very good advice to be able to give a young kid.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't know about moving to Shed Gibbs though. I don't know, it's just,
You don't like that?
I don't know.
I think Gibbs has got one heck of a stable now.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you know, they haven't run that well this year, though, really.
No, last year
Bush has got one win.
Yeah.
Hamlin's got one.
One. Kansas got
And
none.
Kim's got 0.
Yeah. Is it the
I don't know.
Toyota? I mean,
They're griping about no horsepower.
I mean, is that
Just
50,
wait,
one of the
50
problems you
horse?
think?
wait till next year when the guy that put all that money into the organization and got Suarez in the door over there.
And Suarez is
Oh,
a king.
Slim, Carlos Slim or whatever.
Yeah. Supposed to be worth all that money, you know.
So Suarez will be nationwide the way
Full
it's
time
set?
nationwide.
Full time. So a lot of kids have come through that Can-Am are really
But-
starting.
But what gets me is now we know who the 4 cup drivers are.
Yeah.
Now his nationwide cars. Where does all this leave Elliott Sadler?
Well, he's got a sponsor.
But is he in his, what year of his contract is he in?
I really don't. I'm not sure.
Well, it's his first year with the team, so.
No, this is the
Second year.
I thought, is it really?
Yeah,
second year.
second.
Yeah, I think he might have one more year. I think it was a 3-year
Yeah, most
deal.
of them are 3-year deals.
So next year will be the bubble
But I
year.
thought Bubba Wallace was, I thought kind of
Bubba's
indication
Wallace?
he's supposed to be.
He's going full time next year.
With
Yes.
nationwide, well, which will be who's it going to be next year? We're hearing Comcast is it's nationwide that we have now.
Yeah.
So man, so you've got Bubba Wallace,
Suarez.
and then
Suarez.
Elliott Sadler. There's a 3-car team already right there. Wow.
And Kyle Busch.
And
You
Kyle
know,
Busch.
Kyle Busch is going to drive. He's going to drive as
But
many.
do you think he'll be splitting time with someone? I mean, he split time this
probably a
year
little
with
bit,
Morris
yeah.
a little bit. So
Morrison don't have anything lined up for next year.
you know, that's got to be really bad. What was he last year? Second in points.
Mhm.
Did fairly well, and then all
Yeah,
of a
won a
sudden,
few races.
yeah. But
It'll be interesting to see.
All right,
now,
who's next, Raj?
now that Roush Fenway is a developmental team for.
We are waiting on
Gibbs.
Matt.
Don't say that, man.
well, you're really
They
going to
got
get
a.
so.
Hey, where's Guido?
All right,
Where's Guido?
Which Guido?
DiBenedetto.
I'm waiting on him to call.
how about this? How long, personal opinion,
Okay.
do you think Jeff Gordon's got left? 3. He
One
just
more
signed a
year.
3 years because he just signed a 3-year deal.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He signed a 3-year
That
deal,
was, but his deal runs out at the end of next year,
and it's options.
and 3M only signed for 1 year.
Yeah, but who was the other one that signed? It was
Exalta 1 year.
okay.
Drive-in Hummer. He's got 1 more year.
Wow. You think Chase Elliott will be ready? Next year will be what, about a 6-race deal?
He's gonna run 6 to 8 races next year in the 51,
Okay.
and see what
See
happens.
what happens after that.
But
Wow.
if Jeff wins the
He's supposed to
championship,
be here this weekend.
if Jeff wins the championship this year, I know with 1 more year it'll be 1 more year.
It'll just be one more.
If he wins the championship, it'll be 1 more year.
I
And
tell you
I
what,
think it's
they're
gonna be
on a roll.
one anyway.
Kids on a roll, or kid. No. That
And,
man
and,
is on a roll.
I mean, there's a lot of talk going on down there. I mean, he's even looking at the future too, as far as what
he's
his
gonna do.
what his involvement is going to be.
Because he's part owner in the
He's
48.
part
Well, he's
owner.
part owner of his too. if I'm not mistaken, when he signed that big deal.
Well, he's part owner of the 48.
So you got, who do you have over there now? Well, my goodness, you got a great stable over there. You got Kane, you've got Gordon, you've got Johnson, and you got Earnhardt. So now all of a sudden, who's going to be the weaker of those four right now? It's looking a little bit like Casey Kane. You know, he's really struggling hard with that.
Casey, they're going to do everything they can do.
100. He's going to hit 100 wins. Alzon said he's at 91, right?
He'll win 100 and he'll quit.
100. So that's 9 more.
He won't do it this year, of course.
Oh, man.
May not do it next year.
So you say 3 years.
16.
Al says 3, you say 1. Let's hear what Scott's got to say. Go
I'm
ahead,
say
Scott.
2. We'll split the difference.
What do y'all
I'm gonna go out on the limb and say 4.
Nah, I think 4 is too long.
Yeah, that's 4 is really
43.
stretching.
He's 43 years old, I think.
But you never know you never know what's in his mind. And as good as he's been running.
Yeah.
Well, you keep on going.
Yeah.
But Kenseth was running so great last year. Kenseth really looked like he was going.
Yeah.
That was such a great move to go.
What's
from
going on
Roush.
with Jimmy Johnson? Al, you
Finished 9th the other day.
Oh,
He
man,
changed it to
okay.
blue now, man. He's going to start winning. They said.
I mean, everybody's talking about he's done.
I wouldn't worry about him a lick.
No.
They said that
Until
about
2
10
races
years
or
ago.
3 races into the race, that'll.
Guido DiBenedetto, how you doing?
Hey, good, how's it going?
Hey, you got Al Pearce, Jack Dodson, Brian Morehouse, Roger Brehm, Scott Allen, and a whole cast of characters. So how's things down your way?
What's that?
How's things down your way?
Man, it's good. Just been busy, which is a good thing. Now, the racing stuff's really picked up full speed now, so it's been awesome here.
So you gonna be in the 40 the rest of the year, or?
Yeah, I'll be in the 40 for the rest of the season. That started at I think it was I think right before I was going. Can't remember what track it was. A few weeks ago, he made that decision to put me in the 40 permanently for the rest of the year. So that'll be nice. Hopefully, we can get some good runs here going.
Now, probably some of these guys sitting here don't know you from like I do, and you probably don't remember me at all. But
Probably
Probably a good thing.
If he's lucky. If he's lucky.
see what I'm working with here.
Who is this guy?
Back in 2004, I was hanging out a lot down at the Hickory Motor Speedway when this little bitty kid used to get out of them 4-cylinders and won 15 out of 16 or 16 out of 17 races in the 4-cylinders that year. Yeah, who was that kid?
I think at that time I weighed like maybe 80 pounds.
I remember you winning a race there at Hickory where you pulled around to Victory Lane, and I was standing there, and you got out of the car, and I asked the guy standing there, I said, "Where's the driver?" Because this guy was little. I mean, he was really little.
I used to be, man, I was tiny. That was actually, some people thought that when I was driving, they thought that actually Steve D'Souza at Joe Gibbs Racing was there one of those times when he saw me, and went back to shake Todd Harrington, the second place driver's hand after the race, done a good job, and then Steve D'Souza at Gibbs saw me, and he was like, "Oh, that's cute. Look, the father must have dressed up the kid in the fire suit." And then he realized,
I can see that. How's the things going? Is your dad still involved with your racing, or?
No, actually, they're pretty much just fans. But they try and come out to as many races as they can if they're close enough. But pretty much back in 2007, we packed up, quit. We're done racing just because it was just too much for us to try and do ourselves, just too expensive. So, after that day, you kind of stepped back and said, you're on your own, and that was it. And anything I've gotten ever since, obviously, I was at Gibbs and all the races I've done from them, and up until now, some of the races they just are, watch everything and try and come to as many as they can. And so it's kind of nice for them not have any worry on their mind like back years ago.
Yeah, I sat with him one time at Martinsville, and was talking to him when you were running a big race up there at Martinsville, the big late model race. And I was wondering what all he was doing now as far as in your racing.
Oh yeah. Well, they're just able to enjoy it nowadays, so it's good for them, and it's been cool now that I'm able to race full time here and nationwide now. So it's been a lot of fun, and man, things been rolling pretty good here lately.
But you had a heck of a run down there at Hickory. The first year you run them 4-cylinders, you were the division champion, rookie of the year, and everything the first year, and then you moved up to limited late models and won the championship and everything again, right?
Yeah. We actually the next year we had to race against Mark Pearce, who was in the Joe Gibbs Racing limited late model. They had a limited late model at that time, so we had to race against them, and we actually had to beat them for the championship. And that word got around the shop. They knew, that our equipment wasn't, definitely wasn't the best. So, when we were racing against them and stuff, and we won the championship, word kind of got around there, and that kind of got some stuff started. And then from then on, the rest was history. Just got an opportunity with them, and for a short time, but it was at a time when their developmental program was. They were pretty much cutting their development program right as I was just getting in there, so my shot kind of got cut short.
Well, when you were with them, you're working down at the shop and learning, all of that. Tell us a little bit about that and how that's helped you with your racing.
Yeah, it was, neat. I was down at their shop all the time, and they were, the organization was just, it's incredible. I mean, how organized stuff is and how far ahead they are. And, when you go to the racetrack, they have so many different spring options and all kinds of stuff just mocked up and ready. I mean, you're really never going to have a bad weekend. With them, they just have so much stuff ready. So, it's cool. It's just, really, I think it would be better off if drivers had to start off running in equipment like I'm in now, and then get a bunch of seat time and learn. That it makes the lower funded stuff makes you drive the car so much harder because you got to get every single little bit out of them that you can to, first off make the races and then just be competitive.
Right.
And that stuff. I mean, their cars just drive so good, have so much speed. It's insane.
Well, let's talk about what you got going on now. You're racing the 40 car for Curtis Key. What are you looking at for the rest of 2014, and has there been any discussion beyond that?
Yeah, for the rest of this year, like you said, just on the 40 car, which is pretty cool. I'm also give me the opportunity to run. Not sure about next year's stuff. I think they seem to really like me on the 40. I was working with them, and I have the time to dedicate to trying to make their stuff as good as we can on the funding that we have to work with. So I think there might be an opportunity next year to maybe compete for points with them. But nothing set in stone. But that would be cool. And for the rest of this year, just try and knock off as many good finishes as we can and build some, good notes and have some strong runs. So it's been good. We had a good finish there last week in that Mid-Ohio. We were 13th there, so.
What track's coming up are you really looking forward to?
On the schedule, actually, this weekend, Bristol. Bristol's probably one of my, if not one of, or my very most favorite racetrack that we go to. Bristol and Darlington are kind of a toss-up, but I've won at Bristol before in late models, and I've always been real fast there. I qualified our starting hard car actually. We had just a couple laps of practice and qualified there earlier this year, and we had to make the race and qualified 16th in it, which was great for their stuff. Because there was a lot of cars trying to make the race, like 47 or something. So it was. So I think this place I've always really ran well at, and then then I think they usually have pretty good success at Bristol. They usually have a pretty good setup package. So I think we're on a different tire this time, but I think they usually run good there, and I like that place. So probably the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, this weekend for you guys at Bristol, is it a one-day show? Do y'all get there, practice, qualifying race all on Friday, or are you there tomorrow at all?
Yeah, I actually drive up there in the morning, and we practice tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 until 1:30 to 2:30, and then the second session is 3 till 4:30.
Okay.
We have 2 practices tomorrow, and then we qualify Friday afternoon at 3:40 Eastern time, and then the races, I think, at 7:30.
Yeah.
Well, you've really had some good finishes in the last little bit for the team that you're with. What are some of the things that you see that that you would like to see change as far as maybe getting some better finishes with Curtis?
Well, some races are a little hit or miss. Some are a little bit of a struggle, and some tracks suit them better than others. But obviously, we're the biggest obstacle is that we run on. If I had to guess on the budget, I'd say maybe $20,000 a race, maybe. And the top teams run on $150,000 to $200,000 a race. So obviously that's quite a gap there. So you can't make up for some of that stuff. But as far as they do a really good job for what they have to work with. Just do a lot of things themselves, and they build their own engines, which helps the cost a lot. And then other than that, I think with me having all the time to dedicate and go to the shop every week and really talk with the crew chief and go over notes on what I think would be best. Well, we as a team think would be best for the next track and what has helped us in the past and what's hurt and stuff. I think I can help them. We can build our notes and get the cars driving the best that they can and get the most speed out of them. And I think we can get good finishes. And the crew chief's been around a long time, Jerry Walter, so he's a smart guy. And so usually at a lot of tracks the cars drive pretty good. So I think we can build some good notes and have some good runs to finish out the season.
If you suddenly had an extra $80,000 a weekend, and say your budget suddenly jumped to $100,000, where would you spend that extra money?
Man, there's just so many places that those guys, get you at. It's I don't even know where to start. Obviously their engine programs are just phenomenal. I mean, you can't even compete with the horsepower that they make. It's just not even close. And then their bodies are the same deal. Their bodies are just crazy good. They have so many engineers, and they take their cars. They go testing. They take their cars to the to the pull down and Morehouse. They just have so many people, and they're just so far ahead, and they're able to really focus on having tons of different options for changes at the racetrack and all kinds of stuff. Our team, they definitely make the most out of what they have to work with. They work hard, and they sometimes work some long hours, but they just sometimes take a car back from the racetrack and then have to change it all over and get it ready for the track the next weekend. Whereas Gibbs and all those guys, they have their cars ready weeks in advance for whatever track, and they have so many cars sitting around. So it's just a whole different operation. It's crazy, but what a difference. It's like there should be almost 2 different classes of on the racetrack in nationwide. It's crazy.
But what is more important? Personnel, people, or mechanical stuff? Rolling stock, equipment? Which, if you had to invest money in either people or equipment, which would you prefer?
You know, I would say having some real good people. You know, obviously equipment's probably close to as important, but without good people, you really can't do anything or make anything out of it. Because you know, I'd say you know, it's heck, like you know, with my crew chief Gary and what we have to work with. You know, the road course car that we ran this past weekend at Mid Ohio, we ran the same car at Road America. You know, I finished 11th at Road America and 13th at Mid Ohio, which was, you know, just awesome for our team. And so they, you know, it shows that they, just from his knowledge, and I mean, that car that I ran was probably like 7 years old. I mean, it's no new stuff. I mean, it's old stuff, but, you know, just his knowledge and how good he is at working on the race cars, you know, was, he put a good drivable setup in it. We were able to make a good finish out of it just because of what he knows, even though, you know, it's not the newest, latest, greatest stuff.
Well, definitely some good input.
Well, now I'm gonna go back to your days in Hickory, since that, you know.
Why you gotta make this guy think so hard? Get all the way back.
Man, I tell you what, this kid was awesome at Hickory when I was down there. I would go just to see him race. And you were down at Hickory, which is known for all of the great drivers that have come through Hickory. Did you go around and talk to any of those guys when you were there, like Pete Silva and some of those guys that raced on a regular basis there?
Oh yeah, I would always go down there and be hanging out. Pete Silva was actually one of the main ones. I would go and hang with their trailer and root for him during the late model race all the time. And Randy Burnett,
yeah,
you know, he's I go, you know, bug him all the time. He was racing late models, and now he's over at Earnhardt Ganassi Racing now. I think he's an engineer over there.
Yeah,
pretty sure he's an engineer. But yeah, I mean, all those guys when I was running like 4 cylinders and stuff, I'd go over there and we were running limited late models, go over there, get as much information as I could, and yeah, laugh, you know, hang out with those guys.
Now, were you originally, did you originally grow up in the Carolinas, or did your family move there for your racing career, or, you know, what led you into racing and you know, things like that?
Well, I grew up in California, up in Northern California in Grass Valley.
Uh-huh.
And,
Grass Valley? I know a guy who lives there, Dave Bartels. Anyway, go ahead. No. Y'all laugh at me.
No, that's the way you did it. It's the way you come out.
It's almost like I made it that in and out place.
I've never heard of anybody from Grass Valley except my friend David Renee.
Uh-huh.
And he's got a mansion up there. He's a motorcycle rider and a Mayflower van line executive. And he and his wife have shown me pictures of their house up there. It's just stunning. Anyway, you're from Grass Valley. I didn't know that. See, now
he was really happy.
Yeah. I grew up there, and then my dad is really, really big into baseball, and he coached baseball his whole life. I coached like the scouting leagues for the New York Mets, so he's big into baseball. So I played, you know, little league and stuff, and my dad coached the team, and then one of the guys on our team actually raced, and you know, my dad always told me as little Jeff Gordon, because everything I got on, like 4-wheelers and stuff with an engine, nothing was fast enough, and I, you know, was just wide open on everything. So then the guy on our team raced, and they were like, "Oh, you should come check it out." So I went out there, and of course, you know, I bugged the heck out of my dad. I wanted to race, and so he got me like just a piece of junk little cart just to start. We didn't know if I was actually gonna like it. And we went out there and ran good, and my dad didn't. I'll make the long story short, but my dad didn't know anything about racing whatsoever, and I always made him watch NASCAR. He passed by the channel, and I'd make him watch it, and he was like, "What in the heck do you want to watch that crap for?" And so then he went out to the racetrack, he bought me that car, and we ran, you know, pretty good, but it was a turd box cart, and then the guy that we bought the cart from called my dad and was like, "Hey, you know, that's going to be really good." And my dad's like, "What are you trying to sell me?" And the guy was like, "No, really, like, I think, you know, he could do for Rookie of the Year next year." And there's, you know, tons of carts that raced out there. And So then my dad was like, oh, all right, and he brought me a good card, and we went out and actually beat that guy's son and won our first race out. And then the next year we beat them for the championship, and you know, then the rest of the picture. That's kind of how I got started in the go-karts and stuff, and then we moved, you know, we eventually ended up, when I hit the top of that kind of stuff out there, we moved up to North Carolina, you know, one, because we liked it out here anyways, and, but, you know, also for the racing mostly.
We got one last question for you.
Just fine.
Being a son of California, and you live in North Carolina now, do you miss not having an In-N-Out burger close by?
Oh, man, yeah, you know my mind, that's the one thing that kills me on a daily basis whenever I fly out there to see my family.
I saw that somewhere.
Fly in the airport and go straight in and out.
Absolutely. All right.
Well, we definitely want to give you a chance to talk about your sponsors and give them thanks, and appreciate everything you've done with calling in today.
Yeah, well, I wish I did have more sponsors to thank, and hopefully we can have more of those here down the road in the future, but for right now, it's pretty much our team owner, Krystal Hurr Plumbing, that funds the whole deal, so all my thanks is to him and that whole team for plugging me in the car and believing in me and wanting me to race for them every week with, you know, with me bringing no funding or sponsorship, which is really tough to come by nowadays, you know, getting a ride without money, so.
Well, I want you to bring up that name because Curtis Key's a big name in this area where we live. He started his business down here in the Virginia area, so definitely a good guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm lucky to be in a race car every week.
Yep.
All right, Guido, we'll talk to you soon. I'll see you at the racetrack sometime.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. See you later.
All right, bye.
If he sees you coming, he'll take off.
I remember that face from my childhood.
I'm beginning not to like you anymore.
It's only taking 45 minutes.
He's getting old. He's getting slow in his old age.
Let's talk racing. How you doing, Mr. Stockman?
Good, y'all.
How's everything your way?
Oh, it's going okay. A bit loud here in that Bristol, so
Are you already at Bristol?
I'm already here.
Oh,
Hey,
okay,
have
cool.
they finished that mod race, or is that mod race still going on?
No, it's still going on here. That's fine. They just had a long red flag. I figured I'd try to wait it out, see if they finished up, but they didn't. Now they're back green, so that's why I'm a little late calling y'all.
I gotcha.
Oh, that's cool. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you on that win you had at Indy.
Well, thank you very much.
That was a big deal. I mean, I'm
It's a big deal, and we definitely needed that. Get our confidence up going forward and try to win this championship. So we've been since about Charlotte, business has picked up and we're running a little bit better. So we just got to keep the momentum going here.
Now you've worked with both the Dillon boys. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to work with them and how much input they have into their setups and things that they do at the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely quite interesting being able to work with both of them, and they're both very different. And you know, with the family involved and everything, it's fun. There's a lot of pressure involved in it, like everybody I'm sure knows. But we give it 110% every day and do the best job we can. And have been pretty successful the last 4.5 years. And we just got to keep staying on top of the curve and make sure that we're giving employees the best possible equipment we can, and so they can keep performing and keeping sponsors coming. So it's fun. It's hard days and bad days, but I go to work every day enjoying what I do. So can't ask for anything more than that.
And I know you work around Nick Harrison, so I'm gonna apologize for that now.
Yeah. Good boy. He and him are like, we pretty much grew up about the same background, about the same age, and we both got big round bellies too. So, we're really close to the same type of crew. We do the same type of stuff, and it's fun working with old Nick.
Yeah, he's a piece of work. I'll give him that.
Danny, I've got a question about scheduling. If If NASCAR wanted to help the Nationwide Series save a little money, could y'all run some one-day events? For example, when you come to Richmond in 2 or 3 weeks, that's a one-day show, isn't it? Is everything done on Friday?
Well, it's really a 2-day event. You have to go.
You got to be there on Thursday, don't you?
Yes.
Could it be a one-day show?
Yes, most definitely, and I really think that's what they need to look into. I think we need to look into just as a sport in general, from Nationwide Cup and Truck. We need to look into one-day shows and kind of have maybe Trucks Thursday, Nationwide Friday night, and Cup on Saturday. I feel like, the Cup racing being on Sunday, people need to get home and get to work on Monday. That makes it hard for them. And then, it makes for a full weekend of racing too, if you can have a Thursday night show, Friday night race, and a Saturday race. But I think they can squeeze it into a one-day show, and I definitely think that would be a good thing moving forward.
If crews could show up at the racetrack at, say, 8 o'clock in the morning, say at Richmond, because Cup doesn't get on track until noontime. If y'all had the track to yourselves for 4 hours and then qualified at 4 o'clock and race at 7:30 and fly out of there Friday night, that would save the team owners at least one hotel night.
Yeah, and then, right now, with the road crews flying out a day early, you still have your pit crews that fly in the next day. If you had it to where it was a one-day show, everybody would fly out the same day. That would be saving money on flights. It don't matter how many people you got or how many flights. Put an airplane in the air is really expensive. We all know that.
Yeah.
And if we can put the same airplane there with more people on it, it's going to save money. So I definitely think that's a good idea. Having one-day shows, and I think the fans would really like it. They get more bang for their buck.
And then you guys would get home Friday night, might be midnight, might be 1 o'clock, might be 2 o'clock, but you'd be home Friday night, you'd be home with your family all day Saturday, and then all day Sunday.
Right, and
and that's important.
That is important when you get doing this. We're in the middle of the stretch right now.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit tough. It gets a little bit wearing on you. You gotta stay rested. You gotta stay healthy, or else it'll really wear on you. So that's part of what we do. But you can definitely feel how much it starts wearing on you.
I'm glad we got that solved.
Well, now one of the things I heard you do in your spare time is you deal with those RC cars.
Yeah.
I've been talking to one of my friends has been talking to you about, he has a little RC track here in Virginia, Pete Fowler.
Yeah.
And he's been talking to you about things he's got going on. How did you get involved in that?
Oh shoot! Back when I was probably 16, 17, 18 years old, I was racing big cars myself, and kind of was on a slow time with that, not having enough money to be able to do what I wanted to do with big cars, and just trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. And I actually broke my wrist. Me and my buddy at the same time, we had broken arms. So we went down an RC car. Ever since then, it's been a downhill battle as far as that. Lots of hobbies and lots of RC cars, and now it's turned into a full-time hobby. My garage is nothing but that stuff, and really enjoy it. Don't get to do it very often, but it's my little race team in my own mind, and I have a kid that runs for me that lives in New York, and he's really good, and I just like doing it. It's I get the same sensation out of running them things that I do driving a real race car, so it'll probably be a part of me till the day I die.
Well, I'm going to have to hook you up with Mike Herman and Tab Boyd and all them. They got a big thing going on over at Kannapolis in their yard with a big track.
Really?
Yeah. They've even got hero cards for their RC cars.
Autograph sessions before the race.
Yeah, they got it all. They got scorekeepers and all kinds of stuff going on over there.
Oh man, I bet they have a blast.
So now that you're over there, give us a little background where you started and how you got to where you are today.
Basically grew up in Riverside, California. I'm third generation. My grandpa, Harry, was a pretty successful midget and sprint car racer in the 40s and 50s. My dad raced since he was a kid and, built chassis and had his race car shop for many years. And then it was time for me to start racing. Started racing quarter midgets about 4 to 7, playing around in parking lots, practicing. And at 7 years old, I started racing go-karts full time until I was 16, and got into late model cars and stuff like that, and just didn't really make it as a driver, and just make so much money these days, and even then in the early 2000s, that I was forced to make the decision to figure out what I wanted to do, and I just decided that I wanted to be a crew chief. And from then on forward, I went to work at Orleans Racing in Vegas and worked our butts off to try to make it. And about 2006, I moved to North Carolina and went to work for Kevin Harvick and was a car chief there with Hornaday for many years and won several races and a few championships. And Mike Dillons called me to come do the be Austin's crew chief in 2010, and just kind of been working up since then, and just really enjoying it. And it's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to race. Not quite sure what I wanted to do in racing, but I think I figured that out and wouldn't want to be doing anything else than what I'm doing now. So pretty fun. It's been a good ride. We just got to stay being successful and keep pushing on.
Danny, you're the second Californian we've had on tonight. Both of them from Northern California. Well, now you're... Let me ask you this. When you left California, did you miss In-N-Out Burger as much as everybody else misses it when they leave?
Yeah.
See, I tell you people, nobody seems to believe me.
I believe you.
When I tell them that the In-N-Out Burger is an institution. You've got to be a part of it to understand it.
So does California got the In-N-Out Burger and the East Coast got the, what is it, White Castle?
Nah, it's not even close.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere close. Yeah, so you miss it. And when you go out west and you go to Phoenix or wherever you go, you absolutely you go straight there, don't you?
We get off the airplane, we literally go straight there.
That's my case.
And the teams do. It's good. I know you can't tell it by looking at me, but I am pretty round. The food in North Carolina is terrible compared to what I grew up eating. So it's always fun to go back to California and go to Del Taco and In-N-Out Burger and all them good places. So they always say that the southern food is incredible. Well, I've had a hard time finding that out. I'm probably going to have somebody trying to beat my butt over that, but that's what I feel.
The next time you go to Phoenix, go to a steakhouse near the racetrack called T-Bones, up on the side of the mountain.
Yep, I went there last year.
Okay. Yeah, as you're going back toward town, you turn right and go up a little windy road to the top of the mountain. T-Bones, pretty good place.
Well, the next time I get to welcome and come down there to see Nick and hang out with him, I'm gonna come over and get you, and we're gonna go to a barbecue place and see if we can indoctrinate you.
Okay, there we go.
There's no barbecue west of Raleigh. I'm telling you.
Have you got Nick on your show yet?
Do what?
Have we had Nick on the show?
Oh, we've had Nick on here several times. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Nick's my buddy. My son worked for Nick down at the 51.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, I've been knowing Nick for a long time.
Yep, he's a good boy.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far, but I will say he's all right. So when you see him, you can tell him I said that too.
Okay, I sure will.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your time calling in tonight, and I appreciate you getting with me finally, and we were able to work it out.
Yeah, anything else y'all need, just let me know.
All right, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
See, I'm glad to hear that other people think they can run one-day shows in the other series.
But you can ask any of those nationwide guys, and they will tell you that.
Yeah, why not?
They want to come out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, who's going to win tonight? The truck race.
You already said.
I've already said Kyle Busch. Kyle's my man. Who do you
It's
got?
gonna be hard to beat him.
Keselowski.
Keselowski?
Timothy.
I'm gonna go with my favorite, Timothy Peters.
Okay, who do you think qualifies second?
Cheater.
Cheater? What?
Got busted the last time he raced. He got busted at, where'd they busted? 17
Martinsville?
truck. No, not long ago.
Yeah, they did. That was
Bubba might win it.
Pocono.
What'd they get him for? I don't
I
remember.
think they got him at Pocono for something up front. Anyway.
I'm going Bubba.
You're going Bubba Wallace? Okay. Scott?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard to beat Kyle Busch. What do you got? Ain't the 22 Cup car ain't
Blaney?
no, Logano, ain't he running too?
Not in truck.
They're doing trucks.
Keselowski's in. Keselowski and Blaney are driving Keselowski's truck.
Blaney would be a good one.
Yeah. I think he ran well there in the last year, didn't he? Or in the spring.
It's hard to beat Kyle Busch there. I mean,
It is.
He's on the
He
pole.
ain't been winning much, so.
no. But Cole Custer, another K&N
There's
alumni,
quite a few of them.
is second, and Ben Rhodes from the K&N series is ninth. So that's really
Greg
good to
Gaulding.
see. Greg Gaulding was fifth.
Mm-hmm.
That's really awesome. So you're really interested to
Greg
see.
Gaulding is going to be the death of me.
Why?
Krispy Kreme.
Okay, hold on. You had Krispy Kreme or In-N-Out side by side. You had $5 left.
That's not fair.
Hold on, let's make it harder.
That's like saying Shania Twain or Faith Hill.
Hey, Brian.
I don't know. I think they're two wonderful choices.
Hold it. I'm going to make it even harder, Al.
Four wonderful choices.
The hot sign is on at Krispy Kreme. Uh-oh.
Would you go Krispy Kreme over In-N-Out? As much as you've been talking about In-N-Out all night. You're going to go
Probably
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out, yeah.
Oh, Krispy Kreme.
I'll tell you what.
But it was a close run.
In-N-Out is far healthier. Heart attack in a
I'll
box.
tell you what. Within the next year or so, I'm going to get out there to get to the In-N-Out.
Where's the
you gotta
closest
go.
In-N-Out, bro?
What's on In-N-Out?
Texas is closest.
Arizona.
What's the closest race
They got
out?
one in Dallas.
They got one in
They
Texas.
got one in Texas now.
Yeah.
And it is good. And
They got one in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, all
And
over.
they got one in
Vegas.
Phoenix.
All over Phoenix.
I haven't got to travel a whole lot to out west with the series, but following everybody, as soon as they do get off that plane, all the officials,
My son says
teammates are all going there.
My son says they get in the van and they head straight to In-N-Out Burger, whatever town they're in. They eat their In-N-Out burgers and then they go to a go-kart track. Each one of them towns has a go-kart track that they all go to, and they all bet. And then they go from there. They go back to In-N-Out Burger and get something, and then go back to the hotel.
But I'll tell you why In-N-Out burgers are so good.
Tell that.
You only get them once or twice a year.
That's right.
You don't have the
If they had them every day,
It'd be like a McDonald's.
no, it'd be better than that.
I mean, just saying.
It'd be like a Five Guys.
Five Guys.
Five Guys,
It'd be like
Wendy's.
Five Guys.
That's
Speaking of food,
1 minute. He lasted 1 minute past 8 this time.
we're 2 past 8.
Oh, it just changed. I'm sitting here.
What about old Chris Buescher winning the race last week?
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
was pretty good. Glad to see that.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Roush.
I talked to him Monday, and he was pretty excited. I'm gonna try to get him back on here soon.
Yeah, I was happy to see
I was
that.
about to see that.
Yeah, he was pretty excited. That was a big deal. I told him, I said, I know Mike Herman didn't have anything to do with it because you won a race.
Yeah, but that's his spot, or
No, he wasn't with him. It wasn't with him at. Mike Herman was
At
at
the cup.
Michigan, so he wasn't with him there.
You're kidding. Wow. Well,
Well, hopefully
Wrap it up.
everybody enjoyed the show tonight. We will catch everybody next week, same time, same back channel, whatever they want to call it. We'll see ya. Al, you gonna be with us next week?
I'll be in Atlanta.
You gonna be at Hotlanta, huh?
for the last.
I'll be on the way.
So what do you think about this Atlanta deal? Have you been hearing?
I'd be fine to come from Daytona to Atlanta.
That'd be awesome. Wouldn't
Not
it?
even come home, just make it one.
Stop off.
Or give them a week off.
Yeah.
Give them the week off after Daytona.
Daytona's 2 weeks of pure being at the track, 12, 15
Give them,
hours a
give
day.
them, give
Well,
them
I
the day
thought we
off.
were done.
So
Give them
Al
a
says
weekend
we're done.
off,
We're
and
done.
then go to Atlanta.
Are you done,
I
Al?
think
Are you
think
sure?
that'd be good.
Are you done now, Al?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay. Say good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night, night.